We're dead on, but make it nice and bright for you. I think for the last 3 years, the iPad has been flying under the radar. There are two reasons. One is that companies started coming out with really good larger phones. On the other side, companies started making thin laptops. I mean, the new MacBook is so small and so thin, yet still more capable than the iPad. It didn't really make sense to buy one. But now this year, for the first time, they showed that they really care about the device and started making specific software for it. So with iOS 11, there are features within iOS 11, a lot of the multitasking stuff, a lot of the click and drag, where you can see that maybe this is something that I could use to replace my laptop. This is the new iPad Pro 2017 edition. I actually already kind of forgot how big it is, but it's the smaller of the two. I think it's a 9.7 inch. I'm not 100% sure. I bought it specifically because I was going to be going traveling for a month and I didn't want to bring my laptop with me, but I still wanted to write. So I bought the iPad Pro, the keyboard that comes with it, and I also bought the Apple Pencil because I like to sketch. It kind of clips on like this. The cover itself is pretty simple. It's just a cover like that, but it also turns into a keyboard, so it's very, very compact. It's about 1/3 of the weight of my laptop. It took me a while to get used to the smaller keyboard for typing, but once I was used to it, it was actually overall really, really good. There's a couple of limitations here which are not going to be there in November once we have, or October, once we have iOS 11. About 80% of the things that I wanted to do, this was great. The battery life was amazing as well. I never really ran out of battery. Watching movies on it is amazing, but the main thing, like I said, I wanted to do was to write. One big problem with the iPad is that a lot of companies don't really put a lot of effort into developing their iPad apps. And because I'm writing a lot of articles for Medium, the Medium app itself really sucks. I was using Google Docs and I was using Medium to write. So I was writing here on Google Docs, trying to copy and paste it over to Medium. One of the really weird things about copying and pasting in the Medium app is I was only able to copy one paragraph at a time, which got really fucking annoying. The pencil is amazing for sketching. It feels really, really great with apps like Procreate. Really, really smooth writing with the pencil. I think that for me, I really do enjoy illustrating. For most people, this is not something you're gonna need. It's definitely a good competitor to having something like my MacBook Pro, which is the thing I kind of was bringing around with me all the time, which is at least 3 times the weight of it. After coming back from the trip, it feels like this is kind of overkill for the fact that I'm mostly just writing emails. If you're like me and you always want to have like the minimal amount of things that you have to carry around with you, I think the iPad Pro, it's not a bad buy. And I think in total, if you exclude the pencil, I think in total you're looking at around 900 to 1,000 euro, whereas the MacBook Pro that I was using was around 3,000, and I think it's a bit overkill for what I really need to do. Right now, I think I'd give it maybe like a 7 out of 10 because there's a lot of things that I want to be able to do. The actual physical product design is a 10 out of 10. It's amazingly built. The technology there is amazing. The whole package is great, but the software itself is still a little bit iffy, and I think I'd like to come back to it a month and a half from now when iOS 11 is there to see how much it has improved with that update.
That's funny. You're a small head.
I traced myself. I do have a small head though. Actually, when I traced myself, I realized it's a 100% a trace of me.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you.
I don't know if your head that small.
It's small.